gentlemen, welcome to the opera. I am so pleased to have you here tonight. We've invited a particularly small group tonight because there will be a quiz later, and we thought that a smaller study group would be more appropriate for sharing answers and comparing notes. It's a lot to manage tonight. It's a very complicated opera. Don Carlo, or Don Carlos, depending on your preference. Both are entirely legitimate. That's one question on the exam, so do make a note of that. Don Carlos is a very, very long opera. It is in fact 5 hours long, but in the essence of saving time, we're only going to do 4 hours tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Dinner break will be at midnight, and just kidding, it's not that long. But there are a lot of themes for us to cover tonight. It is Mother Week, as you probably know, and that means every opera this week has something to do with mothers. It is one of the standard female types of characters in opera. The mother tonight is, well, she's also the main love interest of most of the people in the opera. And it gets a little complicated. We also have a whore in tonight's production, but it's not Whore Week, so we won't be paying quite as much attention to her. Whore Week is next week, ladies and gentlemen. So, Don Carlo is a story of a bunch of royalty causing lots of problems. They have lots of stress. Oh, it's our intendant, Professor Dr. Helga Hopsasa. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Thank you for having me. Great. Could you tell us perhaps about a little bit about the opera tonight? I know that it's quite a complicated libretto, and it's something that you yourself chose to present at the opera. One of the 24 frenetically paced operas that we are covering here. Yes, my pleasure. Don Carlo is an opera written by an Italian composer about the royal family in Spain, taking part also in France, and with an important side story in Flanders. So therefore we have, of course, chosen the German version. That's fascinating and makes really a lot of sense. I guess we'll never know why you did that, but so ladies and gents, I have to run off to my seat. I'm going to run very, very fast and try not to trip. And while I'm doing that, why don't you just take a peek backstage? We've got all the builders and the shakers and the makers backstage preparing for their big entrance. They're very unhappy people. They know that after the 24th they're all going to be fired. So just take a look and join in their displeasure and observe them as you would animals in the zoo. That's what we're here for. We want you to see every little thing that goes into the opera and enjoy it. So, as you heard, the tenor is of course backstage, as he always is, practicing his entry, annoying everybody and ruining everyone's concentration and making everyone nervous. The tenor doesn't actually come in the very first scene, but he's always there, just waiting. He really can't get on stage fast enough. Some of the characters that you'll be meeting tonight are Elizabeth, Don Carlo, who is the main character of the opera, hence the name. We also have his friend Rodrigo. Ladies and gentlemen, this is actually very, very popular opera with men. And the reason for that is probably because it's of its overt homoerotic overtones. This is in fact the Brokeback Opera of Verdi. And there's lots of buddy songs, lots of wistful, romantic feelings, just really on the surface, not even underneath the surface. And that's why this is also an opera about mothers, because Don Carlo actually falls in love with Elizabeth, who he is actually supposed to marry, But then Elizabeth, somehow somebody decides that she should actually marry his father, King Philip. This complicates matters because then Don Carlo is technically in love with his mother, and that's quite awkward. And that creates a few problems. There's also the whore, as I said, her name is Eboli, she's from Spain. You know what, not all Spanish women are whores. But I think this opera is probably the reason why people think that, and you'll see why. Other characters are less important, except of course for the Grand Inquisitor. This is the time of the Inquisition, which nobody expects, but we do, because we know it's coming. And I'll let you know when that happens. It's very exciting. We've got lots of burning of heretics, and so on and so forth. We do all of it here. Lots of jailing, lots of unpleasantness, lots of unhappy people all around because it's opera. So that's all I have to say, really. I am once again really excited to have you here. Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, you know, it is Mother Week, and I am also unexpectedly a mother, and I find myself very out of breath. I think the baby has grown very quickly in these past few days, and I assume that I'll be relieved of this burden before Horror Week begins. I'm not really sure who the whore will be, whether it's me or my baby, but tonight, really, I feel like my baby's the whore because it's really causing lots of problems. But that's neither here nor there, ladies and gentlemen. So I'll just keep vamping until the orchestra comes in. As you can see, they're already taking their places. Lots of really busy movement behind me here in the opera house. People excitedly flapping about, programs fluttering. Ah, there we are. So enjoy the program, ladies and gentlemen. The opera. Please have a seat. These people are very friendly, I've noticed already. You can also choose to sit here. She's sitting all by herself.
Okay,
We're having actually a study group. Did you bring your pens and pencils?
no, not today.
Okay, somebody will share with you. It's okay. So, Brian?
Yep.
I think we'll just dive right in. Here we are in France. Elizabeth. French person. Yeah. So, she's French. Don Carlo. She doesn't notice him, but she doesn't know what he looks like. Because she's just busy helping the local townspeople do whatever they do. She's very nice. And she's giving them whatever encouragement. This old crippled lady. This woman doesn't even have any pants. It's really awful to be poor in France. Oh, dear old lady, let me just give you some coins. Thanks. I feel so good about myself now. Poor people leave. They don't belong in this scene. Don Carlo has witnessed this, and he is so moved. My God, what a heartless thing you just did there, giving away 0.0000001% of your obvious wealth. Yes, it is something that I force myself to do every day, so that I can feel better about myself. Ah, tell me, are you, Elizabeth? Yes, I am. How did you know? Oh, well, I am from Spain, and I am here to spy on you. Ah, well, you're from Spain. Actually, do you know this guy called Don Carlos? Well, yes, I have heard of him. I've heard he's really handsome and really great, and really clever. Ah, you know, I'm supposed to marry him, actually. Are you now? Yes. I don't know who he is or what he's doing, but our union will save the entire countryside from the war that's been going on and destroying everybody except me. I have plenty of money. I'm just fine. Ah, is that so? Well, ha ha ha. Guess what? What? I'm Don Carlo. Oh my God, that's amazing, and that's so great because I really think you're hot and I already want to make out with you. So that's really fantastic. I couldn't have expected it to go any better. I was expecting to marry some really old jerk who's crusty and mean and foreshadowing. So the audience didn't quite get that, but that's okay. So I am really so glad to meet you, Mr. Don Carlo. And I am happy to meet you as well, Miss Elizabeth, my future bride. Oh, let's go hang out. Yes, okay, let's do that. So they leave. Yeah, it's very dark back here because I left these on all night, ladies and gentlemen, but it doesn't matter. It's not going to actually improve anything, even if I can see the music. So what we have here is Don Carlo has spent significant time with this girl, and the problem is that he gets back to Spain. And something horrible has happened because he received a message that actually his lady love, Miss Elizabeth, Miss beautiful French Elizabeth, she's not going to marry Don Carlo. No, no, no. They decided she should marry his father. This is very upsetting. This can't be. I'm so against this. I'm very sad. I haven't slept. I feel like shit. I'm your friend, Rodrigo. Carlos, you seem very upset. Tell me. Just tell me what's wrong. Please tell me I'm your friend. No, no, no. It's too much. It's too much. No, please. I just want you to cry on my breast. Because that's what I actually say in the libretto. Please, please cry on my breast. Okay, I'm very sad. And now please tell me what's wrong. Okay, the trouble is that I'm in love with somebody. Well, okay. And he's thinking, could it be me? Is it finally happening? No, it's not you, Rodrigo. It's Elizabeth. What? And of course there's a song about that. Let's hear it.
Ist Carlos, mein Prinz, oh, mein Rodrigo, oh, Carlos, bist du's, den ich umarme? Ja, ich bin es, mein Prinz. Der Himmel sandte dich in höchster Not. Wie bin ich glücklich, oh, wirst du mein Retter sein. Oh. Die Stunden schlug, dich rufen zu Hilfe von Völker Flanders.
Oh, what you're saying is that you're here to bring me to Flanders, where we have our political activities that are somewhat forbidden, because they go against the king's wishes. Yes, exactly. And we are reaffirming how much we really are happy to see each other, and how much we trust and love each other. Ah. That's great. Let's keep doing that. Yes, it feels so right, it feels so good. Yes, it does. And now is the moment
where I tell you, I have something to confess. I'm so sad. The tears are falling from my eyes. Yes, I can see. You look so sad. What? Please tell me. Tell me what's wrong, Don Carlos, my prince, my love. You're my best buddy. And you can tell me anything. Well, okay. Only you can save me. I trust only you. I'll tell you. I'm in love. Yes? It's okay to be in love. Just let it out. Just talk it out. I'm in love with Elizabeth. What? I'm so disappointed. No, you're not disappointed, are you? Don't judge me. Please don't judge me. Please, I'm really suffering. Okay. No, I'll still stand by you. I know you're still in the closet. You still don't understand your own true feelings. And you're falling in love with your mother because you're just confused, right? Yeah, you're confused. You'll come around eventually. So, yes, I'll stand by you. But you know what? You should come with me to Flanders, because you should just forget her, you need some perspective, you need some distance, come with me. Okay, you're right. It's a plan. We'll do that. And we'll spend a lot of time on the road, and lots of time in close quarters, sleeping in small tents. Yes, exactly, Don Carlos. That's exactly how it will be. Don Carlos doesn't expect a thing. He's so deeply in denial, he doesn't even realize what's happening. Yeah, so look, that's what we're gonna do. Just trust me, and you know what, just ask your mother to send you to Flanders. Oh God, okay, and then we'll continue our political activities there, and then we'll be free to do whatever we want. Yes, you'll be free of your mother and the king and everything, and you'll save the world, and it'll be great.
whatever reason. And she's about to sing something, because sure she is. It's an opera. Everyone's got to sing, even the whore. So, So, Eboli, Spanish woman, is from España. She's always walking around veiled. That's her trademark. She has this beautiful Spanish ensemble as she walks around, hanging out with her hangers-on. And for whatever reason, here's her song. Let's just see what that sounds like.
their veils, foreshadowing, who to play a little trick on someone. And the king in this Moorish land, which is code for black people live there, they have this king who is bored with his wife, but he finds this veiled beauty that he sees extremely attractive, and he starts flirting with her and tries to come on to her, and oh my gosh, it's his wife. So that's what that song is about. And then this bitch shows up. Oh, hello. Beverly. You again. Yes. It is I. I'm a Spanish. And I was just singing a song. Oh. Imagine that. And, what's new? Oh, not much. You know, I'm the queen now. Lots to do, lots to do. Lots of balls to go to. So on and so forth. Oh, I can only imagine. And I got this letter with this official seal. I think it's important business. I just need to read it in private. Oh, that reminds me, for no reason at all. You know, Don Carlos, the son of the king, yeah, what about him? Well, I think he's in love with me. Do you know? But she's actually a little worried because maybe he's in love with her. She doesn't know. She doesn't know him all that well. She hasn't seen him in a little while. Yes, it's true. I'm going to leave now. Okay, bye. And she reads the letter. But it is in fact from Don Carlos. It's all a big secret. They are actually still meeting in private sometimes, exchanging messages, and it's all very upsetting. And he insists to see her because he's just obsessed with her. He can't get over it. He can't get over the fact that that she married his father, and he just keeps obsessing and obsessing and obsessing, just like a tenor does, and hoping that maybe there's some way out of it. And okay, so fine, she agrees to see him, but it's a bad idea. And they should really stop torturing themselves, she thinks. But okay, one more time won't hurt, right? Right. So here he comes. My princess, my queen. Ah, it is you. I dream of you day and night. And I try not to think of you and my father together. It's very creepy and disgusting. He's extremely old, and you're extremely hot. But the fact that you're my mother, that's a new kind of hotness. So I don't know, I'm very confused. Ah, you know, Don Carlo, I've been meaning to tell you, we really need to stop meeting like this. We really need to stop talking. It's very inappropriate. Wait, wait, wait. Yes. I would like for you to ask my father to send me to Flanders. I have a big plan so that I can forget you by going to another country with my very, 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 very good friend, Rodrigo. Oh, yeah, that's a really good idea. Okay, I'm in total support of that. I will ask the king to send you to Flanders. Good idea. But wait, there's one more thing. Yes? I just have to reiterate that I really love you. Oh God, I really can't. Please just stop that. I cannot forget you. It's so wonderful. And we have to check and make sure what else happens in this scene before we close it, because there's really a lot going on in this opera. So Evelyn, Elizabeth, Carlos and Elizabeth. All right, okay, so that scene ends. No, leave for Flanders and leave me alone. No, I won't. Okay, well, fine. Bye. Scene over. And then, but there's more, it continues. Because Rodrigo, Carlos's good buddy, he's constantly scheming on Carlos's behalf, because Carlos is just constantly getting into trouble. He frankly needs a lot of help, and he's more than willing to help him. And then the king happens to come across Rodrigo hanging out in the garden. Hey, Rodrigo. Oh, hey, king. Look, I want to ask you something. Yeah, I haven't seen your son, none at all, no. No, I was wondering, I'm a little worried that my son and my wife are having an affair. What? No, absolutely not. That is complete garbage. I am 1000% sure that's not happening. Your absolute assurance is very reassuring to me. Nevertheless, I was wondering if you could keep a closer eye on Don Carlos for me. Yeah, sure. No problem. I'm very happy to do that in my official capacities as a person about court. And yes, I will do that. Great. And just make sure that he and my wife are not fooling around. Yes, I will do that. Good idea. Okay. And just one more thing. Be very, very, very careful about the Grand Inquisitor. Okay, no problem. Let's see. Okay, I'm exhausted. Time for a commercial break.
The fruit psychic, reading her fruits every night at 8.
So, here we are. The king. Brian, are you ready?
Yeah.
Brian, I'm ready too. On 3, ready? 1, 2. So the king is in his study. He's such a mope. He's just going over and over and over in his head how he thinks the queen doesn't love him. And he's absolutely right. She does not love him. Not one bit. And he finds that to be actually an affront, because how on earth could she not love him when she is forced to marry him? Doesn't make any sense. So he sings a very sad song about that.
Ba-da, 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 ba-da.
sie vor mir, ihr erstarrendes Antlitz, als sie zum ersten Mal mein graues Haar erblickte. Wo bin ich? Die Kerzen sind abgebrannt. Der öde Morgen bricht schon an. Es naht der Tag. Vergeht sich langsam die Tage, ach, und der Schlaf bleibt fern meinen brennenden Schlaf in dich erst, wenn man mich hat geschmückt. Zum letzten Gang am Ende meiner Tage. Schlaf in dich erst, wenn in den Schlaf in dich erst am letzten Tage in meinem Marmorsaal im Escorial.
So he keeps singing to himself. Goes on for a while. He's very depressed. He's showing early signs of dementia. Nobody really knows what to do about it. He is king. He has been coronated. Or actually, maybe the coronation scene's coming up. I'm not sure. Anyway, he's definitely the king. And it's a big problem. He's very depressive. And the only person that he really trusts is Rodrigo. He doesn't know that Rodrigo isn't really all that trustworthy for the king. Doesn't really matter all that much. Anyway, where were we? All right. Okay. Yeah. So, what we have here is his friend, the Grand Inquisitor, willing to come in and lend him a hand with his depression. And the Grand Inquisitor has very, very creepy entrance music.
Hello, King. Oh, Grand Inquisitor. Hello. I have some terrible feelings. Tell me, my son, what's the problem? Well,
as a matter of fact, there was a ball earlier, and that's all fine and good. But what actually happened, I'll just tell you, I'll just recap it very quickly, because I know the whole story. It's that Emily was feeling a little tired. She didn't really want to go to the ball, and so she asked, actually no wait, Elizabeth, she was half undressed and she thought, I'm not going to the ball tonight, I would rather just take a bath. And so she called her friend Emily, who's not really her friend. I don't know why she's asking Emily. Emily is like frenemy at best. Emily, I really don't feel like going to the ball. Would you be a doll and wear my veil so that everyone thinks you're me? Oh, yes, certainly. I will absolutely do that. I never pass up an opportunity to impersonate royalty. I'm happy to do so, and I will go to the ball for you. Wonderful. So then, well, all I know, as was reported to me, is that Emily did in fact go to the ball. She went and she had a wonderful time. And then, my son, he also went, and this is just what everyone told me, he saw her, and he thought it was Elizabeth, so he was like, oh, my darling, yes, let's please, and she's like, oh, what? You think I'm who? What? And then this happened, and he was like, oh, no, seriously? Oh, fuck, now everyone knows. So he was really trapped, and then everyone came in, and luckily my friend was there, and he stopped him. He was like, he was gonna kill her. He had a knife. He was like, I'm gonna kill that bitch because she's gonna tell everyone everything. Carlos, you're gonna get killed. This is stupid. You shouldn't have made a pass at a woman in a veil. Just never do that ever. And she was like, yeah, but I mean, this is really exciting because now I have really extra information, and I've been trying to jockey for more power this entire opera. We're about 3 hours in at this point, and he's like, you know, this is bad news. I'm gonna kill you, and then we'll just make up some kind of story. And then he decides, no, actually, I changed my mind. I'm not going to kill you because I trust the Lord. And so he puts the knife away, and he thinks everything is just going to work out fine because religion. So it doesn't actually work that way, ladies and gentlemen, especially if your religion is one of the most corrupt organizations, criminal organizations on the entire planet in all of history. But so that's why we're here, Grand Inquisitor. I have decided to have Carlos arrested and put to death because he's the reason why Elizabeth doesn't love me. And in my twisted logic, this is a just punishment. He has to die, my own flesh and blood, because my wife loves him. I see. That's indeed a problem. I am a consummate politician. I'm not really a man of God, that's just what they say. And look at this outfit, it's great. But really, what I think is that you need to take action swiftly. Send a clear signal. Oh, that's a good idea. And I can see that you're wearing glasses, so you must really know a lot, because we don't actually have glasses in this century. Not like that. Yes, the powers of the church are extensive and very wide-ranging. Yeah, so anyway, do you think it's bad? Do you think that God will punish me if I kill my son? Ha 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 ha. No. God actually loves killing his sons. Oh, right, good point. Okay, so I'll do that. And actually, I have another one that you could kill. I have actually quite a long list, but I strongly suggest that you kill Rodrigo. What? No, I'm not killing Rodrigo. He's my buddy. He's my friend. Well, I have a long and complicated reason why I want him dead, and the point is that I want you to kill him, and if you don't kill him, get ready for serious pain. But I can't, I'm the king. I don't want to kill my friend. He's my only friend in this entire world, and I don't want him dead. I want to keep him. You think you're the king. Creepy music starts as he leaves. The Grand Inquisitor knows who the real king is. Grand Inquisitor has left, and he is resolved to indeed kill. Okay, I guess I have to kill my son. That's that. Fuck, I can't do anything about the church. They're too powerful. They'll probably try to kill me too. That's how I became king in the first place. I don't know where my dad is. My dad was the king. Now he's dead. Nobody knows where or why or how, but it's all very confusing, and the church is somehow behind it all. I'm sure of it. So I guess I better play along. And, oh God, this is really horrible. So he leaves, and then he doesn't leave, but the scene changes. And then we're back somewhere else. And Eboli, she's always singing in a garden somewhere. It's just what she does. It's her trademark. She's a whore and she likes gardens. It's like some kind of Eve thing. Anyway, Judith, I don't know. So, things have gone spectacularly well for her, except that everyone is really angry with her. So she got what she wanted, but she didn't get anything that she wanted. She wanted Don Carlo, and she wanted to continue boinking the king. She what? Yes, yes, she is the king's mistress. She didn't tell anybody that, did she? No, it's a big secret. Because that's how she knows so much, and she's always popping up in the right place at the wrong time, in the wrong place at the right time. That's how she knows everything. But now even she feels a little bad. Because now, due to her having told the king, because it was her, she's the one who told everything. So the king found out, and Elizabeth, of course, is very upset. And, wait just a second. Okay. Focus. Okay, and so, everyone is very upset. Is the door haunted? Everyone is very upset with Eboli, and understandably so, because she let on that Don Carlo is in love with Elizabeth, that the king suspects him of having an affair with Elizabeth, even though it's not actually true. They're not actually having an affair. They just are in love. But Elizabeth is very pious and very proper, and she hasn't done anything wrong, and they should all know that. But yeah, Eboli has done horrible things, and so Elizabeth says, all right, so now that we are all caught up on the story, I'm going to send you to a nunnery. Goodbye. Yeah, so that's what they do. And of course, Eboli isn't really very excited about that, but she accepts her fate because probably if she doesn't do that, something even worse is going to happen. So, she wants to sing a little song about that. Oh, but I think that comes later. Yeah, that might actually come a little bit later. Oh no, that comes now. Just have to find it. Or does anybody know Odon Fatale? We'll find it. This is also on the exam. Ah, here it is. Okay. Good. So.
Geschenk, das mir in Zorn gegeben, der Himmel, der du so stolz, so eitel mich mochtest, dir muss ich flüchten, dir muss ich flüchten, die meine Schönheit, so fließet in Tränen. Schwer
nuns. She is resolved to go to the nunnery. Rather, she has been forced, and she's her own bitch. So she decides that she wants to go, actually. And that's basically what that song was about. And before she goes, she suddenly feels really bad about everything that she's done. And she's going to save Carlos, she decides. She actually doesn't save Carlos at all, but she wants to, and she feels as though she had by the time the opera ends. So, yeah, okay, I think it's time for another commercial break, actually.
Oh!
So, and of course every night, this is an Advent show, so we have to have a little Christmas. Let's do that now. And then, such a long opera that, Brian, I think Christmas is over now. Thank you very much. And such a dreadfully long opera that even the cast members welcome a little break in the action now and then to have a little chit-chat in the green room with this cunt over here. So she's always got lots to say. Some passive-aggressive comments as always. So thank you, Mezzo, for joining us. I know that you already had your big scene, so you are happy to talk to me. Yes, I have had my big scene, and it went very, very well. Ah, yes, I heard that you had lots of high notes. You don't ordinarily sing high notes now, do you? No, I am mezzo, but I have a very, very big voice, and I can do all the roles. I actually could also be soprano, but I prefer the mezzo because I am so sexy, and I'm very attractive, and casting directors really invite me to do all the roles. Oh yes, I'm sure they invite you to do all the roles, don't they? What do you mean? Nothing. I didn't mean anything by that. I see, yes. Where do you come from, actually? I am from Russoslavia. That's, there are many singers who come from Russoslavia, aren't there? Yes, we are all very inexpensive, we are very exotic, we work for nothing, and one day we will rule the world, so that's why we're here. Oh, that's wonderful. Could you do us a favor? I know that the audience is really curious about your acting, and you have such wonderful, wonderful dramatic skill. Could you show us a little bit about how you actually accomplish this in such intense moments where you're singing such challenging music, such dramatically intense music? How do you actually do that? Ah, it's very easy. I have many positions that I make drama, such as if high note, if very high note, and if pleading, then pleading is very difficult. Ah, that's fascinating. Where did you learn those tricks? This is what all singers must do. We all know these tricks. You will see now if you go to opera. Yes, I'm actually an opera singer, thank you very much. I'm actually quite famous. I don't know why you don't know that. Ah, but very long time ago, no? Yeah, so thank you so much for joining us. It's such a pleasure to talk to you. And we'll just invite the audience to enjoy the third and final act, which is about to begin in just a moment. And third and final act. Oh, so much horrible stuff has happened. Emily knows she has to go to a nunnery, take the veil, which really sucks. Nobody wants to do that. But I'm sure she'll find a way to make it work for her. She always does. And if not, she'll probably just die of diphtheria or something. It's not so bad. And so the Grand Inquisitor actually, he has this kind of flunky. This guy, the Grand Inquisitor, is always showing off his powers. He seems to be coming into powers constantly at a somewhat alarming rate. And right smack in the middle of Don Carlos, actually, he has a little bonfire. It's really great. It's a very exciting moment in the opera. It's a bonfire of people. Just the scraps, pregnant girl, whoever, just put them in a big pile. They're not believers, or they're expendable for some other reason. And just douse them with a little bit of gasoline or cow shit, whatever they're using back there in Spain. And light them on fire. It's great. Traditionally, opera houses do not actually show the actual bonfire of burning naked bodies. I don't know why. It's a very, very exciting scene and a big moment for the opera. But it's also a very good opportunity for you to meet this creepy guy. He's a monk, as you can tell by his clothing. And yeah, so that's horrifying. The townspeople are very afraid. And the Grand Inquisitor, evil bastard, he really knows he's getting exactly what he wants. And what he wants right now, actually, is that poor Don Carlos. He is, in fact, in prison. It's quite dreadful. It's very dingy and dark. Very, very creepy. Very unpleasant. Smells very bad. Lots of dripping noises. Nobody knows what's dripping, or where to, or why. And everyone is upset about this. It all went wrong somehow. And Rodrigo comes to visit Don Carlo in prison. Oh God, it's really so depressing. my friend, you're in there. And Don Carlo says, yeah, man, my dad, he's a real dick, huh? Put me in prison. What are you gonna do? Life sucks. Whew. Didn't get Elizabeth, now she's my mom. Now I'm in prison, now I'm gonna die. Well, no, says Rodrigo, you're actually not gonna die. Because I incriminated myself to the Grand Inquisitor. And he's gonna have me killed instead of you. But I'm in prison, how's that gonna help? So you're killed out there and I'm still in prison. No, we worked it all out. The details are not really explicitly stated, but it's all gonna be just fine. You're going to escape. Okay, so how's that gonna work? Well, we're just gonna hang out for a while, and at some point, that creepy guy who's always hanging around the Grand Inquisitor is gonna shoot me in the chest. And then we're gonna have a nice long drawn out scene where I profess my love and I wish that I could still be alive with you, but I'd rather be dead and let you live because I'm an idiot.
Die Mutter, harret deiner in dem Kloster San Juste. Sie weiß von allem. Ach, mir schwindeln die Sinne.
Hold hands through the gates and have one last duet together, holding hands as you die forever. My dear friend, I love you so much, and even though I can't get free of this terrible, terrible feeling that I'm also going to die, I want to comfort you in your last moments. Life was so great and we were buddies and we would go on a big camping trip together to Flanders and save the world. Yes, my friend Rodrigo, yes, I remember. And now you're going to that big camping trip in the sky and I will miss you, my friend, my buddy, my everything, the only guy who ever understood me. And yeah, okay, so he dies, and then right, okay, that's pretty much it. But you know, this is an opera where Verdi, he wrote it, and then usually you write an opera, and then at some point it's done, huh? But not Verdi, not Don Carlo. He just kept adding to it. He just added and added and added and added. And in the first production, actually, this was the end of the opera, so you would see this at this point. But wait, but what happens? How does he get out of prison? Oh, well, I'll tell you. Because what happens, actually, is that first she comes in, and she's like, I'm here, I'm going to save you, I have no idea how, but we're going to do that. Okay, So everyone is back, the whole crowd back in the prison, they're all there. Not really sure why, but they all crowd back in. And there they all are. They're all in prison again. And oh, there's so much commotion. We're all talking and doing stuff, and there's a breakout of war and Flanders. It's just too much, and so they escape. Okay, and then at this point, now it ends, really. But yeah, but what about what happens with Elizabeth? Okay, well, I'll tell you. So what actually happens is, later, at some undetermined time later, Elizabeth is praying. She's praying in church, which means she's probably wearing a veil, like this one. She's very depressed all the time. So she's wearing a veil and she's praying to God. That's the praying position. And in comes Don Carlo, who has, in fact, everything is fine now. He's out of prison. His friend is dead. His dad is still in charge. And the Grand Inquisitor is still causing problems all over the world. Oh, is that you, Elizabeth? Yes, I was just praying, as I always do. Well, Elizabeth, I just want to tell you, I want to wrap up this storyline, that, yes, I'm over you now. I magically stopped caring about you. Actually, I'm hanging out with Eboli now. Even though she's supposed to be in a nunnery, we are, in fact, a couple. And so we are here to tell you that I think of you with love, but it's the love of a mother. Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, so then that's where the opera ends. Yeah, but that can't be where the opera ends, because then what happens to Don Carlos? I mean, there's so much conflict in his life. And what about, there was like this weird thing with his father and the grandfather, and what's happening with that? Well, I'll tell you. So actually what happens is that there's more commotion, more stuff going on, and this guy comes in because once again there's a big crowd of people, everyone is hanging out, commotion, commotion, they're all doing things, and then somebody hears blah 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 blah, and they think, oh my god, you know who that sounded like? That sounded like the dead king. But he's dead. Oh, but is he? Is he maybe this mysterious monk? And the mysterious monk says something about how the church is very powerful and the only time that you can really rest is when you're dead. Well, that's cheerful. And so then the monk takes Don Carlos, which may or may not be a monk or may possibly be his grandfather, and apparently his grandfather really wants to kill Don Carlos because he grabs him and takes him into a cell, and there they lock themselves in and something horrible probably happens. And that is really the end. That is the end, ladies and gentlemen, of Don Carlo. Thank you very much.